This week I'm in Budapest and I've never been here before, so I am super excited to explore this city. I've done a lot of planning and I'm really excited to go around some really cool places, iconic landmarks, and also I'm going to have some really great food as well. So let's go.
We flew with KLM from Edinburgh to Budapest with a quick transfer in Amsterdam. KLM is by far more superior to the budget airlines like Ryanair or EasyJet. KLM gives you extra carry-on luggage allowance for free and also, my favourite, free food and drinks on all of your flights. What's not to love? We used the BudapestGo app for our entire trip. Once we arrived, we each bought the 15-day Budapest pass, which cost around £13 or €15, which gets you on all the local and suburban buses, railways, metro, trams, and trolleybus. The app is so good to plan your journeys, making it really easy to get around. I definitely recommend it. We stayed 5 nights in a central location Airbnb and then 2 nights in a hotel. The Airbnb was really reasonably priced and had everything that we needed. The apartment had a large seating area and a sofa which was really cozy, a double bed and an ensuite shower room. I really liked the open plan kitchen and glad the essentials were provided like coffee and tea, which was a nice touch. Also, there was a separate sink and toilet. I also really liked the internal courtyard. It was very charming. We also had a lift up to our apartment, which was also really handy.
I just left the Airbnb now and we're going to go and get some dinner at Trev for some nice traditional Hungarian food. So let's go.
This restaurant was really cool inside and had a great vibe. We got traditional chicken paprikas with homemade dumplings and also the beef stew with homemade dumplings too. We washed it down with some local and cherry beer. All absolutely delicious, excellent service and very budget friendly.
Dinner was absolutely lovely. Some proper, beautiful Hungarian food. And now we're just going for a wander through the city and going to go to a ruin bar. This city is so beautiful. Like, I can't stop filming all the buildings. I'm just going to spend the whole day just walking around looking up and probably walking into something. But let's go get some beer.
Our apartment is also round the corner from the Hungarian State Opera House and it's absolutely stunning. Across the road is also this restored neoclassical palace which is now a 5-star hotel. As we arrived in Budapest late in the afternoon today, we tried to fit in as much as possible, and what's better to do than check out the local nightlife? The ruin bar we are going to is called Szimpla Kert. Szimpla Kert, which translates to Simple Garden, kicked off the ruin bar trend in Budapest. It began in 2002 in a modest courtyard bar and relocated in 2004 to this derelict stove factory on Kazinci Street. The founders have preserved the building's crumbling character, layering it with mismatched furniture, surreal decor and art. The bar is even better than I expected. It is so unique. I've never been anywhere quite as cool as this before. The layout is a maze of interconnected rooms and courtyards filled with quirky art and graffiti. We just grabbed a couple of beers. I can't believe there is cherry beer on tap in Hungary. It's literally my favourite kind of beer. I'm absolutely delighted. We grabbed a seat and just people watched for a while because it's a great place to do that. I was absolutely loving these guys' shoes. What a great place to wear them and a total legend. Overall, the vibe in here was awesome. A good mix of locals and tourists, and the music was really good as well. Also, the drinks were very reasonably priced. I would definitely recommend to come here and I will 100% be coming back. Next to Szimpla Kert is the Street Food Caravan Budapest, which is basically a food court with lots of trucks and booths selling loads of different kinds of food and drink. There was so much on offer like langosh, burgers, Mexican, international dishes, vegan alternatives, and even a cocktail bar. The smell of food whilst walking through here was amazing. However, we were just so stuffed after dinner that we couldn't eat another thing. One to try next time though.
We just been to the Ruin bar and it was amazing. So now we're gonna go to Rumpus Tiki Bar and I just hope there's somewhere for us to sit and have some cocktails. Let's go.
I was really excited to get some cocktails and I'd heard some really good things about this tiki bar and I'll tell you, I wasn't disappointed. Inside was amazing. The interior was spot on and the music was vibing. The atmosphere here was just electric. The cocktail menu was really well done. I liked that it had color-coded key to show you the different flavors of cocktails and also skulls to show you the alcohol intensity. It definitely helped us choose our cocktails. And they were amazing. Just look at the presentation and the garnishes as well. So cool. We tried the painkiller and 3 dots and a dash, and then we tried Wella Tiki and Malini. And honestly, they were all delicious. A similar price to Scotland for cocktails, but the atmosphere here and the service was excellent, so we were very happy overall. What an experience. There was even a lady doing the hula, such a great addition to the evening and totally unexpected. The tiki bar was so much fun. I would recommend you come here if you're visiting and I will definitely be back. Just walking home and look how beautiful the opera house looks at night when it's all lit up. It's absolutely stunning.
Bars in Budapest are awesome. That's a wrap. We'll catch you tomorrow. Morning and welcome to day 2 of my travels in Budapest. We are going away to do a 3-hour Segway tour around Budapest. I'm really excited, so let's go.
This map shows roughly where we went, excluding the Cittadella, as it was closed unfortunately, but our guide adapted the tour to our requests and it was great. Every place I travel, if I have time, I try to do a Segway tour on my first full day, as it's the best way to see a city. Not only does it give you a great overview of the city, but sometimes you end up in places that otherwise you would have missed. We started the tour heading over the Elizabeth Bridge to the Buda Castle district. The bridge got its name from Queen Elizabeth, who was a popular queen, and there's also a statue of her next to the bridge. Just after the bridge, our guide told us the history behind the monument to St. Gerard Sagredo. The monument is perched high up the Gellert hill looking down over the Danube. We then hopped back on our segways and took in some of the beautiful buildings in the area, on our way to the sculpture of 0 kilometer, where he explained its significance and pointed out the turtle bird statue that looks down over Budapest. I love the 1870s Buda Castle funicular. It looked really cool and the views going up must be stunning. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to go in it this trip, but we'll definitely do it next time we visit. This buzzing square is called the Clark Adams Square, after the Scottish engineer that oversaw the construction of the Széchenyi chain bridge. Love that. We do build a good bridge in Scotland, so I'm not surprised. We then drove through the charming castle district up to the most beautiful buildings I've ever seen. Walking around the Fisherman's Bastion, the Matthias Church, and even the Ministry of Interior Government building makes you feel like you've stepped into a fairy tale. We stopped off at Ruszwurm for a much needed snack and a coffee. Ruszwurm is Budapest's oldest pastry shop with its beautiful 200-year-old cherry wood counter. I really wanted to visit here as I'd heard such great things about it, as they're famed for their homemade cream cakes, strudels and pastries, and I wasn't disappointed. The pastries were so light and fluffy and warm, freshly baked. We got one with cottage cheese and it was absolutely delicious, and the coffee was excellent too. Walking around the castle district honestly feels like stepping back in time. The Fisherman's Bastion is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and it offers the most stunning views of the city, including the Grand Parliament Building. We then took a short ride to see the palace and castle, and we were so lucky with the timing as they were changing the guards. Such an interesting thing to witness. They are so smart in their uniform and incredibly in sync. What an amazing thing to experience. This area is under a lot of construction at the moment, which I think is a good thing, as it shows that they are really investing in their city. The views from this side are absolutely stunning as well. I'll look forward to coming back here once the construction is complete to see the end results. I was loving riding through this tunnel. It's absolutely huge and it feels like it went on forever. I was also excited to go over the beautiful Széchenyi chain bridge. It's so grand and the views from it are absolutely fantastic. This is the first time I've ever had a private tour though, and it's only because of trying to get the timings right for the activities that we wanted to do today. But honestly, it was 100% worth the money. Our guide was local and so knowledgeable about the area. Next, we headed to the magnificent Parliament Building. It's quite awe-inspiring and I really look forward to seeing it lit up at night. We also visited the shoes on the Danube bank, which is a memorial to the Jews that passed away here during World War II. A very moving tribute. We finished off the tour by having a nice ride along the riverside and taking in the views. Our guide was awesome, so knowledgeable, and we learned so much about Budapest's past and present. Worth every penny. You must do this if you visit. 10 out of 10. After the Segway tour, we caught the bus back to the Castle District, where we sat on a bench to have a packed lunch we'd made earlier. We also stopped past Ruszwurm and grabbed a cherry strudel and some more coffee. They were both delicious.
We're just about to go on the Buda Castle Cave guided tour. I'm excited. It's really hot today, so I'm looking forward to go into the caves to cool down a little bit. Let's go.
As soon as we started to descend into the caves, the temperature dropped rapidly to a cool 12 degrees centigrade. It was really nice. Our guide led us through the Labyrinth Cave system, stopping every so often to explain about the history of the caves. It was so interesting to learn about their many uses, such as wine cellars, bomb shelters, and even a medieval prison. There was also raves down here in the 1990s. Imagine how cool that would have been. The guide even showed us a fossilized mammoth tooth in the limestone. How amazing is that? I'm definitely glad we had a knowledgeable guide with us. I could see how you could easily get lost down here. It just keeps going on and on. I really enjoyed wandering through these natural limestone caves. We even learned a little bit about their geology as well. So fascinating. I can't actually remember what the story is behind how these bones got here. Maybe if you come and find out, let me know. This tour was excellent. Our guide was really entertaining and we experienced something totally different. You're not actually supposed to film in these caves, but I really wanted to show you guys. If you do come, you can take pictures, that's absolutely fine. We did tip the guide as I'm sure she knew what we were up to dragging behind. Totally recommend this tour, well worth it, and it's not too expensive either. After the tour, we caught the bus and metro back to the past sites to our next stop.
Now we're going to St. Stephen's Basilica, which is one of the most beautiful buildings in Budapest. They have a viewing platform up at the top, so let's go see.
We got the combo ticket to visit the viewing terrace, treasury, and also inside the church. We went up to the viewing terrace first, where on the way you can see inside the domed roof of the church, which is so cool. I've never seen anything like this before. Really worth coming to have a look. This has to be one of the best views in Budapest. It's really cool that there's a 360-degree view from here as well. I was really surprised that it actually rained a bit while we were up here, but I think that the grey clouds added to the dramatic backdrop of the city skyline. We then headed down to go into the church itself. The Basilica is one of Hungary's most important churches, dedicated to the country's first king, and it is absolutely stunning inside. The neoclassical architecture, ornate chapels, and beautifully painted dome is actually quite breathtaking. The treasury was also worth a visit, packed with sacred artifacts and the church's hidden treasures. Overall, the Basilica is a must-see if you are visiting Budapest. We walked back to the apartment from the Basilica to get ready for the evening. On the way out, we took the metro from the beautiful Opera station. This station was opened in 1896 and was the first metro system in continental Europe. Isn't it just beautiful? In the evenings, down by the riverside is a place to be in Budapest. We caught up with this band just setting up.
This evening we're going for a folk dinner cruise. We've got a 4-course menu to get through and there's going to be some traditional dancing as well. So let's go.
The boat was a good size, not too big, and had quite an intimate feel to it. I just loved watching the live music performances. It doesn't even matter to me what kind of music it is. There's just something magical about people that have really mastered how to play their instruments. I paid a little extra for a window seat, which in all honesty probably wasn't necessary, as you were free to walk around the boat into the front deck at any time to see the great views of the scenery. For our welcome drink, we got a free glass of Prosecco and we also ordered some espresso martini cocktails. Our appetizer was a caponata schiacciata and it was really nice. After every course, we kept going outside to check out the views. The more the sun set, the more beautiful it became. Our starter was chicken dumpling soup with tarragon and it was absolutely delicious. I just love how Budapest lights up at night. It began to make the cruise feel really romantic. I even loved how the sunset behind the clouds added to the atmospheric evening. The star of the show this evening had to be the Parliament Building all lit up. It honestly looked golden and its reflection in the water just added to its beauty. You cannot miss seeing this if you visit Budapest. It's just stunning. The next cocktail I got was a spicy passion fruit margarita, which was so good. And our mains were pesto chicken roulade and risotto bianco and porcini and wild mushroom gnocchi with a mushroom crusted cod fillet. The portions were huge and very filling and really tasty. I really enjoyed the dancing. It kept a great vibe going on the boat and it was very entertaining. The next cocktails we had were exotic spiced pineapple and cinnamon apple bourbon. All were absolutely delicious. I was so impressed with the coordination these guys had. It was mesmerizing to watch them. I love that everyone got up to dance as well. It was so much fun to see everyone having a great time and letting their hair down. For dessert, we had avocado chocolate mousse and it was so rich, creamy and decadent. It was so hard not to film the Parliament Building again. It just looks so amazing lit up. I couldn't help myself. This cruise was on the more expensive side of things that we did on this trip, but it was so worth it. The food was delicious, the music and dancing was so entertaining, and the staff and the service was also really good, and the views were to die for. And we indulged ourselves in cocktails. It's our holiday after all. We're not going to do something like this every day, so why not enjoy yourself? I am definitely a huge fan of boat trips anyway, but this has got to be number one so far. We stumbled across this fantastically lit Ferris wheel on the way home. I just love the contrast between the old fountain and the new wheel. The Basilica also looks really nice lit up at night. That's me wrapping up for day 2. The river cruise was amazing. I definitely recommend if you're here, you should come on one of those evening cruises. The folk music one especially. Get up and dance and have a great time. I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning, day 3 in Budapest and we're back in the castle district. We're going to take in some sights, get some coffee and then we're going to go to another cave. We've got some more things planned this afternoon, so let's go. I really wanted to come back here early in the morning to walk around and enjoy this picturesque area. It's really nice when it's a lot quieter at these usually busier sites, so it's much more peaceful in the mornings to come and take it all in. The Fisherman's Bastion is one of Budapest's most enchanting landmarks. Built in the late 19th century, its fairy tale towers and sweeping terraces were not designed for defense, but to showcase the city's breathtaking views. From here, you can see the iconic Parliament Building, the winding Danube, and the heart of Pest laid out before you. The name honours the Guild of Fishermen who once defended these cities' walls in the Middle Ages. Today, it's a place to wonder, admire, and capture Budapest's unforgettable skyline. We also wanted to go inside the beautiful Matthias church. When you go inside, you'll find a breathtaking interior, golden frescoes, soaring arches, and an atmosphere that feels both sacred and timeless. This is one of the most unique church interiors that I've ever seen. The church is of the neo-Gothic architecture style, which is my favourite, but the stylized geometric patterns and colourful interiors is definitely not what you would expect to see inside, and I just love it. And look at how cool this staircase is as well. What a great design. The best views of the church is definitely from upstairs on this balcony. It's so grand and looks so impressive from here. I really loved all the stained glass windows as well, just like little pieces of art. There was also a wee exhibition to go around as well, which was really interesting. Overall, this church exceeded my expectations. It was well worth the visit, and next time I would also like to go up into the tower as well. After the church, we went back to our favourite spot, Ruszwurm, to get some coffee and cake. We got a poppy seed strudel and a cream cake. I really wanted to try this cream cake as they are famous for it, and it was actually the most delicious cake that I've ever had. We had a wee stroll down the street to take in some of the beautiful views from the other side of the hill, and they didn't disappoint. What a gorgeous morning!
After that delicious coffee and cake, we're going to go to the Labyrinth Cave system. It's not guided, you can just walk about by yourself, and at least it's going to be a lot cooler than it is outside today, so let's go.
The Labyrinth Cave system is slightly different to the other cave that we visited, but it's going to be just as cool. Actually, the first thing we stumbled across was the complete darkness section where you have to use your senses to walk around. It was so much fun just feeling your way around and trying not to walk into the walls.
Can't see.
It was completely dark, and then you would just find a creepy little room, and then there was some really haunting figures of children and other scenes of people. It was really fun.
That's so creepy. That's really creepy. This is fun though.
There is a section called the Hungarian King Statue Wall where all the distinguished kings are presented. The labyrinth also has a stone gallery, so it was cool to see some of these older pieces. There is also some scenes staged that represent the original set, props and costumes of the Opera House. Legend has it that Vlad the Impaler, the inspiration for Dracula, was once held in these caves. Spooky! We don't have anything like this in Scotland, so I was up for as many cave adventures as we had time for. I actually really enjoyed these dimly lit caves. It was good fun to wander about and get lost underground. It felt like stepping back in time, a journey through myth, medieval secrets and darkness. I'd recommend this for sure. After all that walking about in the dark, we needed a pick-me-up. So we went for a coffee and headed to Buda Rétesvár, as our Segway guide recommended we go there for some strudels. We grabbed a couple of coffees and a cottage cheese strudel, and they were great, just what we needed. We then went for a wander to see the ruins of the Church of St. Mary Magdalene. Inside was closed, but it was really cool to see the footprint of where the old church stood. We then caught the bus, then the trolley bus to see the Great Market Hall. It's the city's largest and most iconic indoor market. It opened in 1897 and is a grand masterpiece of steel and glass. The market was just buzzing inside with hundreds of stalls selling everything and anything that you could think of. The stalls were selling things from fresh produce like meat and cheeses, fruit and vegetables, cakes and pastries, spices, mushrooms, gifts and souvenirs, pottery, clothes, and so much more. There was even a cool mushroom display which was so cute. Also upstairs there were food places that smelled amazing when we walked past them. Even if you're not coming here to buy anything, you should definitely come to see the beautiful building. A lovely market, well worth a visit if you're in the area.
Good vibes inside. After seeing all the food in the market hall, we're going to get something to eat at Leila's authentic Lebanese restaurant.
The restaurant looked cool both inside and out. I got a tropical breeze cocktail and it was perfect for this warm weather. We also ordered batata hara, hummus awarma, Lebanese bread, and chik taouk. All was absolutely delicious and we cleaned our plates. Definitely recommend this place. That food was to die for, but we really overate, so we decided to try and walk it off and take in some of the sights. We stumbled across this beautiful area, a lovely church, this stunning synagogue, some cool street art, and also a sculpture. And after all that walking, we finally made it to the Gozsdu Market to have a look around. There was lots on offer, like sunglasses, jewelry, toys, earrings, candles, art and prints, clothing, souvenirs, and so much more. I could go on and on. It was really nice to see a good mix of arts and crafts, well worth a nosy if you're in the mood to shop. Our next stop was the House of Terror Museum, which contains exhibits related to the fascist and communist regimes in 20th century Hungary. The museum is also a memorial to the victims of the regimes, including those detained, interrogated, tortured, or killed in the building. You're not actually supposed to film, but I wanted to risk it for you guys, so I filmed what I could on the sly. The museum and the exhibitions were all well done, really interesting and very thought-provoking. The reconstructed prison and cells actually made me quite emotional, thinking of what horrors took place in this building. Overall, a very educational visit for me, emotional and quite intense. Lots of really interesting information, and I would recommend it's worth a visit.
This evening we're going to play some indoor mini golf. It looks like it's kind of glow in the dark inside, so it should be quite cool. So let's go see.
As soon as we stepped in, I knew I was going to love it. I hadn't played mini golf for ages and I was so excited to give it a go. We grabbed some beers and our scorecards and found a course to start with. You can just start and finish anywhere, wherever's free at the time. There were 3 different themes of the rooms that the courses were in. There was a really cool space room which was done with planets and spacemen, a haunted mansion type graveyard with ghosts and ghouls, and a really cool tropical rainforest with a jungle animal theme. Some of the courses were not too hard, so we did manage to start off quite well, but they definitely became harder as we went around. I couldn't believe it when I got a hole-in-one. It was pure luck, to be honest. I'm not taking any credit for my skill level. Once we had finished these courses, we had the option to go upstairs and do another pirate-themed course. So we had so much fun that we couldn't say no. And I'm so glad we did, because this course was also really cool and really well done. I don't know if it was just because we were a couple of drinks down by this point, but I think this course was definitely harder. I won the first game but lost the pirate one. Overall though, this was honestly so much fun. These courses were really original, well executed, and we had a right good laugh. Something fun to do in the evening. We needed a late night snack, so we headed to the kebab shop which was round the corner from our Airbnb.
Just finished playing mini golf. It was so much fun. Now we've got some kebab from Hero Kebab and we're gonna go back to the Airbnb and eat it tonight. We're going on a day trip out of Budapest tomorrow, so I hope you'll join us then. See you later.
P.S. The food was delicious.
Good morning, this is day 4 of our trip to Budapest. Today we're going to the Szimpla Kert's Sunday market to see if there's any goodies and to get some coffee. And then we're going to take a train to a lovely little town called Szentendre. So let's go.
We walked to Szimpla Kert. I really love the street that it's on. It has such a vibe. I was really intrigued to see what this place looked like during the daytime, and it definitely had more of a calm feeling. It was quite peaceful to walk through the open courtyard and be technically outside, surrounded by loads of plants. It's such a chill place to relax on a Sunday morning. The market was still setting up as we arrived because we were quite early, but it was lovely to see all the local produce on offer. We grabbed some coffee and had a wander around to wait for it to open. And the benefit of going early during the day is that you can also have a really good nosy around at all the unusual and cool objects that are used as furniture. There was lots of fresh produce like a lavender-infused stall, truffle pesto, spices, jams, chili sauce, honey, palinka, and my favorite, cheese. I just love cheese, especially unusual flavored ones, so we had to buy some. We tried a few and ended up buying one with pumpkin seeds and a chili and garlic one as well. They were both very tasty. We then nipped back to our Airbnb to put our cheese in the fridge and caught the metro to the Buda side in order to catch the train. We grabbed some snacks and coffee while we waited for the train. They were so good, especially the ones with the wee sausages inside them. It was so nice to see some of the countryside out of the window and be out of the built-up city for a while on the way as well. As soon as we stepped off the train, I already loved it here. The quaint and colourful wee houses and charming cobble streets were exactly what I had hoped for.
We've just arrived and I've got some ice cream here because it's absolutely roasting today. We found this charming little shop and I think it's pronounced lavender, Levendulu in English, and they infuse lavender in ice cream and it's absolutely delicious. I'm excited to explore this little town some more.
The tourist information shop is right across the road from the ice cream shop, which is so handy. We had a quick look inside and there was lots of lovely souvenirs inside to choose from. We also got ourselves a map to help us explore this lovely town. We were also lucky when we visited and there was a little market on which was selling loads of interesting things like secondhand books, lovely original jewellery, pretty handmade items, and loads of souvenirs. There was also so many cute little shops dotted along this main street as well. I couldn't believe how busy it was here. It was just buzzing with life. This town is definitely one of the most picturesque places I've ever been. The old town is just gorgeous with all the colourful buildings, lanterns, and even the most beautiful, famous umbrella street. I adore all the little alleys and side streets that lead you deeper into this charming town. It's such an interesting place to explore. You never know where you will end up. We took some time out of the hustle and bustle of the town centre and wandered around this lush Japanese garden. It was lovely just to sit and relax and listen to the birds singing and the insects buzzing around, and there was even some koi fish in the pond. How cool!
We're just walking around this beautiful Japanese garden, trying to get some shade out of the sun. It's absolutely gorgeous here.
I would definitely recommend to visit this delightful little piece of serenity if you're ever in town. We then just had a wander and got lost in the little cobbled streets and ended up at this amazing viewpoint where the Serbian Tanners Memorial stands. This has got to be one of the most beautiful and secluded spots in town. Just look at the views. We carried on through the alleys until we reached the Belgrade Cathedral. It was really grand and ornate with sparkling gold accents framing the paintings. I even really like the outside as well. It's so unusual in colour. There is lots to do in this little town. We stumbled past a quaint little art gallery and poked our heads in for a nosy, but our stomachs were rumbling by this point, so we headed back into the town square to get some lunch.
We've just stopped off at the Elisabeth Restaurant to have some beer and get some lunch.
We got a couple of well-deserved cold beers and we shared a Black Forest cold soup for starters, which was so refreshing. We then had some proper comfort food, chicken, ham, cheese and fries, and also stuffed red peppers and potatoes. The food was really filling and we really enjoyed the view of the square from our table. We then had a wee stroll through the busy streets and stopped for a coffee and some fresh lemonade to watch the world go by. The lemonade was so refreshing and just what we needed to cool down. We then had another potter around walking through the beautiful side streets and just exploring this lovely town. We then grabbed a couple of beers down by the riverside and listened to some music while we waited for our transport back to Budapest.
Instead of getting the train back to Budapest, we're going to get on a boat and I'm really looking forward to it. Let's go.
The boat was so busy, but we managed to grab a seat upstairs so we could enjoy the views. I think the boat takes just over an hour, but I honestly can't remember as we were really enjoying the cruise back. Before heading off, I had went to the tourist information office and grabbed some local beer for the ride. It was really tasty. It was such a relaxing boat ride. Everyone was just enjoying the views and chatting. I had to include one last shot of the beautiful Parliament Building. It would be rude not to. Overall, an excellent way to get back to Budapest. We really enjoyed the ride and stunning scenery. I would highly recommend to do this. If you have enough time, if you're in Budapest, I would definitely do a day trip to Santander. It's absolutely gorgeous, not to be missed.
We made it back to Budapest and now we're going to go and get some dinner at a Hungarian restaurant called Tukory. Let's go.
The restaurant was really busy with locals, which is always a great sign. Really authentic inside. I loved the wooden interior and all the beers from all over the world. As usual, we grabbed some beers and we got ourselves some starters, which was hortobágy palacinta, which is a savoury meat pancake, and it was absolutely delicious. 100% recommend to try this. We also had chicken breast paprikas with cheese dumplings, a cucumber salad, and stuffed pork with paprika sauce and cheese dumplings too. Excellent food and excellent service. We will be back here again.
Thank you so much for watching part 1 of my week in Budapest. It's been absolutely amazing. I wish I could have crammed it all into one video, but I couldn't. So part 2 is going to be linked in the description when it's made. Thank you so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Write a comment if you've ever been to Budapest or there's somewhere else that you would like me to go. And subscribe for more travel adventures, and I'll see you in the next one.